All right. Welcome. I am Dylan. This is Nicole from Throttle Company in Columbus, Ohio. And we have a new series called...
Do you see the words in the...
Yeah, that's my
with
point.
you're pointing at?
I'm telling them. I'm having
Okay,
them see it with me. Editor. Yeah, let's have our editor do it. Let's have our... When we send this off to our editor, they'll do it. Okay, you asked for it.
Mm-hmm.
We come up with a topic, or there's already a topic, or people have asked for a thing. We're using questions from the internet, and I'm rapid firing it at you, and you're answering it. So this
do I get to fight back?
No.
Oh.
With your words. Use your words, Nicole. Okay. Motorcycle group ride is the theme, which they would have known because it's the title of the video. Okay.
Motorcycle group ride.
Yeah, you got it. You get it. Now we're on the same page, literally. Well, digitally. Okay, so what do you call a group of motorcycle riders?
So I actually looked this up because I thought I was asking the questions this time. Apparently, the most common term is group, but you also hear bikers referred to as a pack. That's weird.
Pack of bikers. Okay, how do I find friends to ride motorcycles with?
So many different ways. One, you can show up to an event that says this is a group ride. So if you don't know anyone, but you know, Throttle Company is holding a group ride like the Springtide Ride, for example, on March 23rd, you just show up. If you are trying to find specific friends, there are things like if you're local to Columbus, there is the Motorcycle Riders Club of The Ohio State University, which is an undergraduate college-aged riding group that doesn't have any dues or anything like that. So riding group versus club.
And we like those guys. They're fun.
Yeah, they've showed up to a couple of our events, but they ride together, I think, twice a month.
The Litas. So
the Litas is one. We're a rider collective, which is also like a less formal than a club type of group. So you don't have to have a specific bike or brand or ride a certain number of miles, but you have to have a license.
The last thing I would say is Facebook. Here in Columbus, we have Columbus Area Vintage Motorcycle Group. And they are constantly doing rides and events and bike nights, but there must be that wherever you are. Hopefully you could be in the middle of nowhere and that would be harder, but hopefully we've given you some, things to help. I've got these in order. Can I talk to someone on a motorcycle? I assume they mean in helmet.
Yes, there's a couple of ways to do that. I know some people, if they don't have like a communication integration in their helmet, might use their, AirPods to communicate,
because you're just using your phone.
Using your phone,
which we talked about earlier today. I've heard of people using Discord, so everyone gets into a Discord voice channel, and you can use it.
I think it's easier to listen with an AirPod. That's
right.
Than to talk, but you can do that, and then you can have something like a Cardo or a Senna, like the helmet might have a Bluetooth unit proprietary integrated into the helmet. I don't suggest the proprietary version as much because if you drop your helmet, you need to replace it, then you've paid more for a system that you can't transfer to another helmet. But there are ways to communicate while you're riding. Yeah.
Okay. How about this? We'll have a silly one at the end. Can I use, this is not the end one. This is the one and then the silly. Can I use Google Maps for motorcycles? So I think the spirit of this question is for a ride, plan a ride.
Yes. So I don't know what kind of, is it API that goes into when you select motorcycle versus car versus bicycle, where it goes in and like tries to find curvy routes.
Okay. So the question is, can you use Google? You wouldn't. So
I would not.
Yes, you can. And I definitely have. And you definitely have. But it messes up your waypoints and stuff like that. So
you can only have a limited number of waypoints.
What would you suggest to someone if they wanted to plan a route? What would you tell them to use?
I personally use Moto. There is a free version of that. Some people use Rever. I use a Beeline unit on my dash. There is a way to create routes that way as well, but it's not Beeline. You don't have as much actual like waypoint control. It's made for motorcyclists. So when you put in your route, it'll try to find the curviest for you, but you can't necessarily indicate which spots you want. On Moto, you can literally say this point, and then you get something called a GPX file, which is like a turn-by-turn text document that it uses to interpret, which is kind of how Google Maps does their stuff too, but for some reason you cannot upload a GPX file to Google Maps.
That was what I was going to suggest. Is we are actually talked about this today in a group ride planning meeting, was to get familiar using GPXs because that's the standard that people share.
I mean, there are other ones. I think it's called a TMX. There are other file types that are used for different programs, but GPX is the most common that I'm familiar with and that I use.
Okay, silly question. What are the two? I don't know why this question is worded this way. What are the two main things you should never do on a motorcycle? Go.
You should never use your phone while you're riding.
Okay.
Like the physical handset.
Okay. That's why you have Beeline.
And
you have Beeline.
You should, things you shouldn't do on your motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eyes closed the whole time. I don't know. What was the answer?
Lots of things. Never assume someone has seen you, a driver.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like
no. I think it's fine that you answered it. And then never ride out of your comfort zone. That is a good one. We talked about that in the riding group thing today. Is that if people are too intense for you or whatever, there is a safe amount of pushing yourself, and then there's unsafe. So just say something.
So we didn't really go over this in the questions of that, but like, what are some basic group riding guidelines? One of them is have your license if you're going to ride with the group, if you're going to ride at all. But you need to ride your own ride. As if you're a group leader, you need to have a safety meeting at the beginning. Here's what we're going to do. This group of X number of people is going to act like a car going through a 4-way stop. We are establishing that 4 people are going to go at once. One person at a time. We're going to go through yellow or red lights or not go through lights, whatever your group has decided for the overall safety of that group. What do you do when you get separated? Like a riding brief at the beginning. What are my hand signals? Getting familiar with what are generally accepted to be ride signals.
Communicate.
Yes, communicate with your group.
You got too serious about my silly one. All right, you asked for it.
You asked for it.